Y'all are going to have to excuse me because I am not a professional YouTuber, but I did say that I was going to put out some good information. So in dispatch land, we have load boards. The major brokers out there, I actually have a representative I talk to every day. So if I don't bring up the TQL or the C.H. Robinson or the Coyote, I am sorry. But I have a regular representative I speak to if I have to use them. I make a relationship with most of the brokers that I talk to. So that way in some of the dead season, we can keep some rates intact and have year-round stuff. So I don't particularly use this board unless I'm in an area that I have to get out of. This is a subscription-based application. I do pay $170 a month for this. So it is part of my overhead, but it is worth it. They have Trucker's Edge and 123 Load Board. And a lot of the big brokers that I mentioned actually have their own boards, but I actually find talking to my guy every day, or girl, I actually get better rates and we have more consistent lanes. So just depending on who and what. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and we're going to log in. You have to have your login for this. I only have one login on mine, and it is like this. If I have a login, I give it to you to use, it'll kick me out. So this is what it looks like when you get inside. You can search for a truck if you need a truck. That happens sometimes if you have to, God forbid, you don't have a company truck and you have to get another owner-operator from another company to go pick up your trailer to get it delivered. I've had brokers say that if there's some kind of resolution didn't happen, they were going to report the load stolen. So anything can happen in this industry. You will see a lot. You can post trucks. If I send a guy to a bad area like South Dakota or Mississippi or somewhere on Monday, and I know he's going to be there Wednesday, I'll go ahead and post him out there so I can try to get some action, because I know how hard it's going to be to get him out of certain areas if I send him in. I also know that if I'm exhausted in my measures, I'll go ahead and post a truck, but I know it creates 5,000 phone calls, and they're not calling you with great loads. They're usually calling you with stuff nobody else wants to do, they have to cover. So you have to be really careful if you decide to post your truck. Basically, I use the search load a lot. And what that does is you can filter this out. I do it a couple different ways. Let's say that my truck is in Mississippi on Friday and our yard's in Atlanta. I'll actually look for anything from Mississippi going to the Carolinas or anything going through that'll get him there, get him off for his reset for his 34 off, and let him be at the house if that's what needs to happen. It's very dependent on a driver. But in this particular case, we have over here, the ones that are crossed out already, people have already they've covered them. So you'll actually see them disappear in front of your very eyes. You can sort them by the exact match of what you're looking for. Every time one loads up, it'll load down. See how it just did? You can actually do from the city where you're looking to go. You can sort this thing by your deadhead miles to what you put in, which you put Atlanta. If he's actually in East Point, you might want to put East Point. If he's in Lucas Grove, you might want to put that, because your deadhead miles will change. So whatever you're looking for. A lot of things over here, they're looking for, they'll take a van or a reefer on this one. Van. It's got to be a van. Van or a reefer on this one. Even though I put van in my search, they'll show you what you can use as an alternative. So they'll actually load a reefer in there. You can actually, if you are a new company, you only have certain people that will work with you. So you can actually sort this by a broker if you would like. Now remember, this is 2 hours back. So you want to look at your time over here and make sure you're not calling on something that was so far ago that it didn't get covered in 2 hours. It's probably not that important. But say that Armstrong, I know will not work with you for 6 months. Might be 9. Let's say C.H. Robinson will. Coyote will. Coyote has something going from Tucker to Blue Mountain, Mississippi. You got to watch Walmart loads. Anything going to Walmart is a strict appointment. If the broker sends you anything over that is not got an appointment, a stern appointment on it, do not take that load. You will be sitting with that thing for a week. Watch Home Depot loads. Home Depot loads will actually require you to drop your trailer for 24 to 48 hours. And nobody I know in this industry has hardly enough equipment to lose a trailer for a couple of days, much less bobtail back up out of somewhere without no compensation. And so if you're not transparent about it, the questions I like to ask my brokers, the actual pickup city and state, where we're picking up at. Because that's going to determine to me how long it's going to take the guy. If I'm over here off of Fulton Industrial picking up at M&W, I know on truckload side, they have a strict appointment. And they take hours to load. They take hours to load LTL. So just depending on where the pickup is has a lot to do with my decision. On the delivery, the time matters. I have to make sure the times coincide with the hours of service. If he can make it with his drive time and the time he's got to break. I try to keep them 550 miles on a run because you're just setting them up for failure if you don't. And if it pays good money, I mean, if it pays us more money to go 300 miles, we go 300 miles. Whatever I've got to do. I do have some drivers that run out of Maryland that like to go straight over to Missouri, bump a dock once, and go home. This is very structured on a driver. I try to put my drivers to make as much money as they can, but at the same time, most of them are owner-operators, and they choose what they do, and I work with them the best I can to just help aid them and assist them in what they're trying to do. I definitely work with them, and anytime they have issues, all my drivers know I go for one pick, one drop, and no touch. If you get somewhere and they're asking for driver assists, I tell my drivers, call me. That's an accessorial. Accessorials are huge. Brokers are kind of cheap, especially with detention. And once detention gets past a certain point, they'll try to give you a layover. Layover's no more than $250, and the guy's lost an entire day. It's very frustrating for a truck driver. So, guys, just try to constantly keep in communication, constantly try to fight for them. The DAT Board, if you click on any of these brokers, they'll actually show you their credit scores over here, but if you want to tab on them, they'll show you their actually docket number. If you want to check them out, their credit score is over here. How many days to pay is over here. If you find one that you don't want to do business with because they're brand new, I have some suggestions for that. I've actually made brokers pay me up front. I am not one of those people that, I know brokers go in and out of business a lot, and I've seen some people get burned. So if I have a broker that has no credit, I do not mind filling out a credit thing for them to help them build credit, but at the same time, I do not do anything without payment. So I'll make them prepay me, and then I'll fill them out of thing. But I don't get burned. A lot of the brokers go in and out of business, and they burn people. So that's how I do, because my drivers can't afford it, and that's not what we're in business to do, is haul free freight. So just depending on your driver, on the actual truck itself, it really is dependent on the weight that they can haul. So kind of listen to your drivers, listen to what they say. I've told them all, this is not loads of feathers, pillows out here, guys. So we have to pull some weight. And some more advice I'm going to give you. I've had drivers that got overloaded. They didn't know it. They drive 200 miles out of the way to get to scale, and they're overweight. And the CAT scale was literally 9 miles down the street from him if he went the other way or called me. Stuff like that, if you do not communicate with your dispatcher, you're going to set yourself up to fail. There is so much money out here, and most of the time, go in here with these brokers and be assertive. Call them on the phone and say, hey, look, this is what it's going to take for my truck to get it done. There's always a little leeway, 100. Ask for $100 more than what they posted it for. Ask for $150 more than what they posted it for. Tell them no sometimes. I'm telling you, this is a negotiation. They have it marked down, they have it marked up, and the rates you see over here, you can sometimes even get it for more. You'll find on this board, a lot of times, if you see something posted by several brokers at one time, you'll see this mostly on Friday. You'll actually find out they're doing a bid for something that's not even happening. So you will spend a lot of time on this board if you rely on this board a lot. I was moving some guys from Atlanta to Charleston, and man, the guy automatically at C.H. Robinson had the Charleston lane covered back to Atlanta. I mean, we hit some good licks. I mean, we were making great money doing it. So, just where you're based out of, what you're kind of running, what your owner-operator wants to do, there's a lot of money to be made right here on this board. So I hope you enjoyed this content. I'm sorry I'm not a professional YouTuber, but I do hope that you can like and share and subscribe. And you can reach me at jmaddox at jlmaddoxtransportsolutions.com.